Good morning, dear friends. Today is Thursday, and our Pew of Trust is called Trust in Action. It is chapter 32. The thermometer for trust is action. Those who surrender themselves generate a transforming movement around them. Do not remain paralyzed in restless waiting that is sustained by demands. First, recognize that the Lord's action is provided through beings themselves who utilize their potentiality and inner victories to fulfill their duties. When God acts in a being's life, He does not always transform the necessary educational and challenging circumstances, but rather He strengthens the soul by acting on one's realm of thought or sentiments when there is a possibility for expanding one's conscience. Besides this, around each being is an enormous contingent of the Father's servants of life. They are always ready to attend to each being's real needs without setback or delay, and always anticipating the right and fair time for action. Trust is surrendering oneself to become a partner and transformer of life under the Lord's inspiration. In this way, a being discovers not only the source of self-transcendence and self-control, but also becomes a dignifying instrument of love, wherever a being lives and acts. This being represents a greater love that is perfect and divine, by means of human love that is imperfect, but yet is still sufficient. So this beautiful page speaks to us about trust being action. When we trust God, our trust is demonstrated through our actions. And on the second paragraph, Dias da Cruz tells us that God will not necessarily transform the necessary circumstances of our lives. God will not take away the challenges, the trials, the difficulties, but rather will give us the strength, will give us the intuition, will give us the courage to face those challenges, and in doing so, transcend and transform ourselves. In this work resides our most precious, perhaps, contribution to this humanity. A lot of times we think of our contribution as going outwards and doing something else for someone else, which is always valuable since we are God's hands on earth. But perhaps the most precious and meaningful contribution that we can give in this partnership with God that reflects our trust on the Creator, it is to transform ourselves. It is this inner work where when we pray, we don't ask necessarily for things to be taken away, because a lot of times that would be like a child asking the mother or the parents to take away the medication, but to give us the strength to see what needs to be seen and to transform what needs to be transformed. So in this way, we become the source, as it says here, he says here, of self-transcendence and self-control. And we become representatives of God on earth, God who is this greater, perfect love and divine being, and we, who we are still imperfect in our ability to love, but we are sufficient. Every time we put ourselves in this condition of trust, willingness to do the work, we become sufficient instruments. We become the arms, the voice, the hands of God on earth, helping one another. So the Pew of Trust for today speaks to us about our value as partners and contributors of God on earth, and how our trust needs to be demonstrated through our actions, not so much through the things that we say, but the commitment that we have to become whole, to become holy, to express our holiness, better saying, at each day and each moment of our lives towards ourselves and also towards others. So wishing you a wonderful day. Let's keep working on our trust and asking God to give us the strength to each day perform the duties and manifest the best and the most divine part of ourselves into this world.